And we're live. Welcome everyone to another episode of FPL Focal. It's the weekend. It's game week 33. A small blank game week. Blank game week, of course, is game week for Man City, Tottenham, Fulham and Southampton. Welcome everyone to the stream. How are we all doing? Thanks for being here. Sponchi, Adam, Monkey Man, El Padrino, Pope Baldy, Ollie. Thank you all for being here. Hope you all had a good game week 32, which obviously only concluded yesterday, and now it's already game week 33. How exciting. Yeah, I had a decent game week 32 actually. I ended up on 79. My bench boost was an absolute disaster. I wildcarded back in 31 in preparation for a bench boost in 32. And obviously Mendy didn't play, Kepa played instead. And of course Forster didn't play, McCarthy played instead. And Masuaku picked up a late injury, so he didn't play. So I ended up with quite a lot of players getting 0 pointers on the bench boost. But never mind, it was still a green arrow, so I can't complain. Back inside the top 100k after a very, very long time. Back to the, I don't know what you call it, the five-figure team. Although we've got some in the chat, like Monkey Man, who are in the four-figure team with an absolutely outrageous rank this season. How are we doing? We'll have a look at the FPL Focal Minileague standings later. Monkey Man actually says he needs help with his team. Let us know how we can help, Monkey Man. What do you need to know? Aiden, how we doing, mate? So, I've made one transfer going into 33. Kane has left my team and Vardy's come in. Vardy's the vice captain as well. So, yeah, I'm feeling quite good about that. Kane obviously blanks, doesn't have a fixture at all. He's got the injury. Vardy in decent form again. Did well in game week 32 against West Brom. He got a goal and an assist. Controversially, he had a bonus point docked for missing a big chance, and I didn't see the tail end of the game, but apparently he had a chance around the halfway line, and it was considered a big chance. So he ended up losing BPS for that. Wuchi, how we doing? Ollie says, I got triple Chelsea, Nat Phillips, so I got rotation risk. Yeah, Nat Phillips not going to play this game week, and Chelsea obviously a rotation risk, as you say. They've got obligations in other competitions, so they're always a rotation risk. No worries, Wuchi. You dropped rank. Oh, that's obviously because you missed the deadline stream. Guarantee green arrows when you catch these streams. I've got absolutely loads prepared for this one. So we've got the news roundup. We've got the scout results from last game week. We've got the scout picks for this game week. XG over and underachievers. Kings of the Game Week update. The Bookies Odds. We'll have a look at which Premier League players are doing well in the virtual league we've got for them. Transfers in and out heading into this game week. Captain poll results. Blank game week 36. Double game week 35. And loads more. So loads to get through. Let's start with the news roundup since we're talking about Phillips. We'll start with Liverpool. So yeah, Phillips first. Jurgen Klopp said that Phillips is not back. So he missed last game week and he's not going to be back for this one either. Curtis Jones is back and he says all the others are not. He says, do I know when Henderson's coming back? Not really, the next couple of weeks. So we could see Fabinho come back and centre back again. But the other Liverpool player everyone's talking about is, of course, Jota. So early this week, Anfield Watch, reliable source, quite rightly pointed out that Jota wasn't spotted in training. That was yesterday they tweeted that. And the journalist asked Klopp today in his press conference whether Jota was okay. And quite simply, Klopp said, Diego's fine. So that's good news for anyone that's got Jota. So that's half the worry over. I suppose the other half of the worry is that he actually starts against Newcastle because it's a very good fixture. So let's hope so. I've got Jota myself. So of course Harry Kane picked up an injury and didn't play in the second of the double game week they had in 32. Mason said, it's difficult, we're not sure, we're treating it day by day. The hope is that he will be on the pitch at the end of the week. So it doesn't sound promising even for the League Cup final. Not sure whether he'll actually be playing in that game or not, we'll have to see. But yeah, he's left my team. I suppose there's a good chance he's back for the Sheffield game, which is a very good fixture. So if so, I may well actually bring Kane straight back in for Vardy. I had 2 free transfers, and obviously because I just wildcarded, my team's in decent shape, so I could afford to do a little bit of a hokey cokey there. So yeah, hopefully Vardy can repay those of us that are selling Kane for him. Anyone in chat sell Kane for Vardy? I know it's been a very popular transfer. So on to some Arsenal news, who of course are the first game this game week. They play tonight. I'll just summarise what we've got here. So Aubameyang, Lacazette and Tierney are not going to be fit for tonight's game against Everton. Likewise David Luiz, he's making good progress and he's hoping to be back into light training with the squad next week. Obviously Holdings emerged as a really good budget enabler for 4.2 while David Luiz has been out, but Arteta says he's going to be back in light training next week, so I'd say give it a couple of game weeks, and then Holding's spot isn't secure. He's got the rotation risk as well, like many others. Another rotation risk is of course Mendy, who we talked about. So Tuchel was asked about it this weekend because surprisingly he played Kepa last game week, albeit in a fairly easy fixture. But Tuchel confirms Mendy is in goal for this weekend, so good news for anyone that's got Mendy. I know he's been a very popular choice, especially for those that recently wildcarded, and since Tuchel came in they've obviously looked very good defensively, so good news for Mendy owners. Bad news for Rafinha owners. Bielsa says, with Rafinha we are controlling his evolution on a daily basis, and up until now he hasn't recovered sufficiently to be able to train again. So it sounds very much like he's not going to be fit for this game either, in Game Week 33. Which is a shame because he's another really good budget enabler. And could emerge as a very good option still for the last 3 fixtures of the season, where Leeds have got a very good run for those last 3. And lastly, Mr. Ancelotti says Calvert-Lewin, Mina, Bernard, Delph and Gomez are back and available to face Arsenal. So good news for anyone that's still got DCL. He's back for this game week. Anyone in the chat still got DCL? So this is the scout pick for Game Week 32. Since the game week only finished yesterday, we only got the results yesterday, and this was the team that the scout had for 32. Can anyone guess how many points the scout got in Game Week 32? So they had Mendy, Reguilon, Shaw, Saiz, Bruno, Salah, Son, Lingard, Pereira, Kane captain, and Iheanacho. Not a bad team at all. They had the Spurs triple up, of course, for the double game week. Kane and Son and Reguilon, actually, all 3 of them returned. Which I was happy about, by the way, because for anyone that doesn't know, I make captain videos as well. And the 3 players I had in the captain's video were Kane, Son and Reguilon in that order. So I was glad all 3 of them returned. I don't know if Sponshy is still in the chat, but he had Captain Reguilon, which was a very bold one. Sponshy, you still going Captain Vardy this game week? He loves a punt. El Bradino says 68. Adam says 71. Sponshy says 56. Aiden says 76. Wuchi 69. Monkey Man says Scout got 74. They actually got 70 points. Respectable score. 70 points for the Scout, if I added it up right. Anyway, let's have a look at what the Scout selection is for this game week. Forget about Game Week 32. It's all about Game Week 33 now. So this is the scout selection for this game week. I'll just read it out again. So they've got Martinez, Trent, Saiz, Dunk, Salah captain, Bruno, Greenwood, Trossard, Vardy, Iheanacho and DCL. What do you guys think of these picks? Bruno's a massive headache right now because he's not been putting up the points to justify his price tag. But then he's got Leeds this game week, so it feels like you don't want to sell him when he's got a good game like that. But there's been quite a few fixtures like that where you're like, oh, it's a good fixture, I can't sell him now. And he ends up blanking. But I think certainly you could sell him in Game Week 34 when they play Liverpool. I don't think this is the game week to do it. Some managers might be considering something like Bruno to Son I would fancy that as a good transfer because Son obviously has Sheffield at home in 34. But anyway, yeah, we'll continue to track the scout results every game week. Decent team, I think. Interesting, they've got the Leicester double up top, which I do as well. So I'm hoping for a big score from Leicester in that game against Palace. Fun fact, it was game week 33 last season as well, where Leicester faced Crystal Palace at home. And that game finished 3-0. And that was a Vardy brace and an Iheanacho goal. And lastly, a look back on the Kings of the game week. So it was actually Johnny Evans that joined the Kings with his 15-pointer. I think there was one other player who got 15. I forget who it was now, but basically when there's two players tied, they put the player who's got the lowest price in the Kings. So it was Evans of all players. I don't know if I've still got it here, but someone actually worked out how many defenders, midfields and forwards that have been in the scout. Yeah, so someone on Reddit kindly worked this out, and interestingly, this season, so we're in game week 32 now, there's been 13 defenders, 14 midfielders and only 5 forwards in the Kings of the game week. So does that tell us something about how we should structure our teams? You know, should we be going heavy in midfield, fairly heavy in defence, and then cheap up top? You know, I've got Kane in my team, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe it should be, you know, Bamford, Watkins, DCL triple up top. And obviously midfielders get the clean sheet point, and of course they get an extra point for a goal, so there is some logic in it. Anyway, well done to Evans for joining the Kings of all players, Johnny Evans. Thank you everyone for being here so far. Great turnout. We've got Adam, Ahmed, Aiden, EJT, Alpadrino, Monkey Man, Pope Baldy, Spongy, Suja. How are we doing, Suja? Didn't see you join. Faint. Didn't see you either, Faint. Wuchi. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like the video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Let's go for 1k subs before the end of the season. Help us hit that target and hit subscribe. So Sujit says, my only worry with Salah's effective ownership, but I just don't seem to have place for him in my midfield. Not yet convinced. The thing about Salah is, and this is something I mentioned on the captain's video, is that he had his rest last game week. So you absolutely would back him to start this game week. Probably get the 90. There's been some interesting discussion about Ramadan and its effects on players right now. That's actually something we can talk about in a minute, because I had a very, very quick look at whether Ramadan is actually affecting players. For anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's players basically, well, not just players, anyone that's doing it, they fast. I don't know how long for. I think it's basically the majority of the day, isn't it? So they don't eat basically all day. So Fofana, for example, he's fasting at the moment, and Brendan Rodgers, I think I've got it here, the quote. Brendan Rodgers says he brought Fofana off after the hour because he's currently fasting for Ramadan, and he wanted to protect the young defender who hadn't eaten or drunk since sunrise. Apologies if I'm uneducated on Ramadan, but yeah, so last night Fofana came off at the 60th minute. Just barely got the clean sheet for those who own him. But yeah, they're basically, they don't eat or drink. So there was, some people were asking, you know, does it affect the players? Because it must be tough. You know, for example, Leicester kicked off at 8 o'clock last night. So that's an entire day without eating or drinking. And then having to play a football match, of all things. Difficult. So anyway, out of curiosity, I had a look at whether it's affected Salah or Mane, because of course they're doing Ramadan as well. And in 2020, of course, the Premier League was suspended, so there was no data there. That was when we were in lockdown. But in 2019, Salah played 3 games during Ramadan, and he got 3 goals and an assist. So, you know, nothing to indicate a drop-off there. And likewise, Mane, he played 3 games, and he scored 4 goals. So again, I don't think there's any connection there. I think it's overthinking it if you start to factor in things like Ramadan into your FPL teams. Yeah, like Ahmed says, Salah played in Ramadan for so many years. So yeah, I think don't overthink that one. I think that's all there is to it. Spongy says he's going to bench Lingard. God, that's brave. Who are you benching him for? Wuchi says, any news on Rafinha? Next game week onwards anyway. Yeah, so Bielsa basically indicated that he's not going to play yet. He's not trained with the squad, so I would say he's probably not going to be playing this game week. Potentially back for next, I would say. It all came from that challenge on Fernandinho when Leeds and City played each other. So not great from his fellow countrymen to do that. Very, very rough challenge. He had no intention to win the ball, Fernandinho. Right, so it's no eating or drinking sunrise to sunset. Yeah, I mean, I've got so much respect for anyone that's able to do that, because I absolutely wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, I work from home right now as well, so I'm just sitting on my ass here all day, and I'm still absolutely starving by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, massive respect. Even more so to play a football match at the highest level. And very quickly, I wanted to have a look at the players who overperformed and underperformed their XG last game week. I meant to cover this earlier, but I may as well not throw away the graphics I've put together. Can anyone guess who overperformed their XG the most last game week? Worth paying, Ramadan gang. Pope says, but for men it's rare that they do so too, right? Malaysian here. What's that? That they... Oh, what? That they skip Ramadan to eat if they've got a game? As far as I'm aware, they still observe it even on days when they play. Wow, Salah played in the World Cup during Ramadan. Yeah, incredible. So much respect to play at the highest level during Ramadan as well. Couldn't do it. Anyway, so what we're talking about, the XG over performers. Oh, Evans is a good shout. I actually can't remember who it was. So the answer was, it was Greenwood actually. Greenwood got 2 goals, of course. He had an XG of 0.84, so he overperformed by 1.16. This is nothing new actually. Historically, Greenwood's been a massive XG over performer because he's such a clinical player. Sigurdsson also got 2 goals, and he had an XG of 0.98. Kane as well, so that all came in Kane's first game. Joe Willock, 0.06. I'm trying to remember what his goal was now. I'm trying to remember what Willock's goal was. I vaguely remember it being an absolute screamer. Who else? Danny Ings, massively overperformed, 0.1. Forget what Ings' goal was as well now. Can anyone guess who underperformed their XG the most? Interesting that Iheanacho is not on the overperformers. Oh, okay, so if they travel in the day, they break their fast. Is that why it's called breakfast? Because it's basically break fast. So the player or players who underachieved their XG the most last game week was actually Martinelli. He had an XG of 1.09 and failed to score a single goal. Bruno's up there. Good guesses. Alpadrino and Worthfaint. Bruno had an XG of 0.48 and didn't score. So this is why I think you absolutely have to hold Bruno still. Give him the Leeds game at least and then reassess. Because Bruno's not done well against the traditional top 6. I guess I'll call them traditional top 6, the big 6. By the way, we haven't even talked about the Super League. I'm kind of glad that that's come around and gone in the matter of a week, because that was an absolute disaster. But that's another whole talking point. Could talk about that one forever, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Bamford 0.9 XG and he didn't score. Bamford's in my transfer plans for the last 3 game weeks of the season because, of course, Leeds have got some of the best fixtures for the last 3 after the potential double in 35. Just quickly as well, this poor lad had a defence of this in game week 32. He had the Dawson, Cash and Stones triple up, who obviously all three got a red card. So he got -8 from his defence. Absolute disaster that. If anyone's not voted on the captain poll yet, don't forget to get your votes in. We'll have a look at the results shortly. The captain poll's on our Discord, so if you want to join that, the link is in the description. So let's have a look at the Goalscorer odds for Gameweek 33. So the highest odds for a goal this game week is Salah, 55% chance for his game against Newcastle. The next is Vardy, 51% chance of a goal. He plays Palace. His game's on Monday, so gets a little bit of a rest. Yotta's 48.5% chance. Hopefully Yotta does start for those of us that own him. Mane's up there as well. Mane obviously started last game. He got his goal. Again, you know, we have seen Klopp rotating players and then starting the next one. So last game week Salah was benched and I fully expected him to start this one. A couple of game weeks ago it was Mane that was benched and then he started last game week and got his goal. So I think Salah's a very, very safe pick for the captaincy. I imagine he'll be one of the highest effective ownerships, maybe the highest. Iheanacho, 14.5% chance of a goal. Giroud's up there. Of course, this assumes that Giroud starts. And the clean sheet odds are as follows. So again, Liverpool, 51.5% chance. Likewise, Leicester. I know quite a lot of people have jumped on the Leicester defence. Fofana's been a decent pick. I think he's only about 5 mil. Castagna, interestingly, got the assist and clean sheet last night. Brighton are very good odds. They play Sheffield, of course. They kept a clean sheet against Sheffield earlier this season. Wolves have been very good defensively. They're up there. And of course, Chelsea need no justification. So let's have a look at the actual expected points after factoring the goal scoring, the assisting and the clean sheets. So this is the expected points for this game week. And Salah is top. So he's got 6.8 expected points, followed by Mane, who's got 6.5. Vardy's up there with 6. Trent, 5.8. What do you guys think about Trent? I think he's I think you have to get Trent for the remainder of the season. When you look at Liverpool's fixtures, which we will do by the way, we'll look at the fixture ticker for the remainder of the season. Liverpool are way up there. In fact, I think they've got the best fixtures if you ignore Sheffield, because the fixture ticker doesn't always factor in team form. So Sheffield have got good fixtures as well, but obviously no one's looking at Sheffield assets. So I think Liverpool triple up is the way to go for the remainder of the season. Trent is the man in form. Trent's picked up 3 bonus points in his last 4 games in a row. That says everything you need to know about Trent. And let's have a look at the Premier League players FPL Minileague. So this is like a virtual mini league courtesy of fplbot.app. And they've taken all of the Premier League players that play FPL and put them in a virtual league. So basically it's James Justin and then the rest. Justin's 2.8k overall rank, having an unbelievable season. Obviously spending all this time he's got off of injury very well. Followed by Lee Grant. He's snuck up to second place. John McGinn overtook Bartley. Harry Maguire is 677k in the world. Calvin Phillips jumped over target last game week, having a decent season. Anyway, really behind on chat. Did I miss anything? Vigard, Kieran. It's Kieran Youngod. Sometimes I get the usernames on YouTube and the Discord mixed up, or I don't connect the dots. Danny C, how we doing? So we've got about half an hour till the deadline, so I'm glad you asked. I think now would be a good time to do a quick round of who's that player, who's up for it. So if anyone that's not played before, I'm going to show you a cutout of a player and you have to guess who the player is. So I think we'll start off with a nice easy one. Who is that player? Answers in the chat. Let's hear it. Who do you reckon that is? You can all get this one, surely. I want to see all the answers. So, the guesses we've got. Spongy says it's my captain, Jamie Vardy. Werfaint, Vegard, Ahmed, Pope Baldy, Exile Chaz, Monkey Man, Ayush, Danny C, Suja, Aiden. All got it. Nice easy one to start with. It was indeed Vardy. Well played. Okay, on to the next one. Let's give you a bit of a tougher one now. Who's that player? Can you hear that microwave motorbike in the background? I live by an A road. Sometimes you get really loud motorbikes going past. Yeah, good guesses in the chat. Everyone got the first one, Vardy. Bernardo says it's Lingard or Greenwood. Oh no, sorry. Are you asking who to get? Greenwood. If I was going to pick between the two, Greenwood. Definitely. We'll have a look at some stats in a bit, by the way. And Greenwood's well up there over the last 4 game weeks. And he's obviously playing Leeds. Man United beat Leeds 6-2 earlier this season. So I like the Greenwood pick for this game week. Piotr says it's Umtiti, Rafinha. Werfaint says it's Smith Rowe. Finton asks Jota. Ahmed says Mahrez. Ted Brunner says it's James. Or maybe that's James. Bernardo says KDB. Good guesses. Aiden says Mahrez or Poveda. Dilligaf says Rashford. Overachievers reckons it's Zinchenko. Only one person got this one. It was a tough one. It was Werfaint who got it. It was Smith Rowe. That was a tough one, though. Okay. I'll give you a little bit of an easier one then. Who's that player? Love a bit of who's that player. I think this one, the hair gives it away. It's the hair. It's funny how these little things can give it away, like the hair or the posture or the ears or the arms. We did one that was Traore, and you could tell it was Traore from his arms. Spongy says Jota. Adam says Jota. Fintan says Martinelli. Jota from Pope Baldy. Oli Suja. Ayush Jota. A lot of Jota guesses. Jake Cook says Jota. Werfaint says Jota. El Perino says Yots. Good guesses in the chat. It was indeed Jota. Alright, we'll do a couple more and then we'll crack on with the rest of the show. Let's give you, should we give you a harder one? Who should we go for? Yep. How about this one? Different posture here. Got the hands behind the back. Or maybe hands down the pants. You can't tell from the cutout. Who is that player, chat? Ooh, Adam says it's Romeo. Ahmed says Haller. Adam says Greenwood. Oh, have I stumped you guys again? I think I have. Fintan says Sterling. Ayush says Bolly. It's not any of those so far. Spongy says Pep, not Pep. Not Greenwood. Not Richarlison. Picked some good ones this week. I think I might have stumped chat. It's not Matip. No one's got it. I'll give you 5 more seconds. It's not Fabinho, not Podence. Oh, is this the first one ever where no one's got it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No one got it. It was Rudiger. It was Rudiger. Hands behind the back. difficult one because you can't tell from the cutout. You can't see much, you know. Looks like it could be bald from the cutout. Okay, the last one. You guys can get this one. Who's that player? Come on. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, chat. Who's that player? I know you got this one. Surely. So, we've got Zuma, Pogba, Nacho. Oh, that's probably from the last round. Adam says not getting that in a million years. Not El Neni. Is this one another tough one? Picked some good ones this game week. You're gonna kick yourself, chat, when you see who this one is. You're really gonna kick yourself. It's not Lingard, it's not Lindelof. The answer was DCL. You got the right team, Vegard, but the wrong player. Yeah, the answer was DCL. Okay, I've got another question for you, chat. Can you guess who the most transferred in player is this game week? Who was the most transferred in player this game week? And a final reminder, don't forget to vote on the captain poll because we'll have a look at the results any minute now. The captain poll is on our Discord. If you're not in there, there's a link in the description. Babel, how we doing, mate? Oh, Vigar says he looks so short. Yeah, that's probably my bad with the Photoshop. I throw these together like half an hour before each stream. Quick Photoshop job. So the most transferred in... see if anyone got it. Most transferred in player was Iheanacho. So this is probably even higher now. I took this screenshot about an hour or so ago. This is from ffstuff.co.uk, and it's actually both the Leicester strikers are the most transferred in heading into Gameweek 33. So probably by now it'll be about 300,000 managers plus have brought in Iheanacho, and probably a similar figure for Vardy. So a lot of managers going in on Iheanacho. Can you guys guess who the most transferred out player is? Who's the most transferred out going into Gameweek 33? These most transferred in might give you an indication because based on that, you might be able to work out who's being sold to accommodate these players. So who is the most transferred out for this game week? Some other most transferred in, Trent's up there, Salah's up there, Greenwood's up there, Watkins, Lingard. Dunk surprising, but he does have the Sheffield fixture, so I can see the logic. Cavani, interesting one. Most transferred out, a lot of you got it. It was Harry Kane. Again, this number is probably even higher by now. Probably about 400k plus have transferred Kane out going into Game Week 33. I think by the time we hit the deadline, it'll be 500,000 plus managers have sold Kane. Anyone in chat sell Kane? And if so, who did you pick up? And what's the plan for Game Week 33 if Kane... Sorry, Game Week 34 if Kane is back? Because it's Sheffield at home, which is a very, very good fixture for Spurs. Other most transferred out, John Stones, of course, he got the red card. Son, he obviously has the blank. Gundogan, another one with the blank. Lacazette's injured. Cresswell is he's got the injury. De Bruyne injured. DCL is only just back. DCL owners might regret it. A lot of those make sense though. So let's have a look at the captain poll results. Before we do that, if you're not in our Discord, there's a link in the description. We've got things like the price changes, the lineups, the live scores, the bonus points, the stat spot. So you can go info and you just pick a player, Yotta. Oh, there's two Yottas. Didn't know that. Who's the other Yotta? And you get info about a player like that. We've got the injury updates, the gaming stats, top 10k stats, insider trading, news, and loads more. But let's have a look at the captain poll results, which are as follows. Wow, so Salah has the vast majority, 68 votes for Salah, 15 for Bruno, 16 for Iheanacho. I like the Iheanacho pick. He was one of the players on the captain video I posted earlier this week. 8 votes for Trent. I love the Trent picks. 5 people went other. If anyone in chat went other, let me know. No votes for Mane. No votes for Rashford or Jota. Interesting. So it does look like, just going off the Discord bunch, that Salah will be the most captained, the highest effective ownership this game week. I can see why not many have gone Bruno, despite it being a very, very good fixture for him. Speaking of fixtures for Man United, something we've not talked about yet is the potential Double Gameweek 35 and Blank Gameweek 36. So this is the graphic by Ben Crellin on Twitter. If anyone wants a copy of this, I've put a link to it in the description, so help yourself. This is really, really worth having a copy of. We probably won't get any news of what those fixtures will be before the deadline, but hopefully before 34 we will. So if you're able to roll the transfer this game week, then I would, because then you can set yourself up for what's going to follow. Because as you can see, there's going to be a bunch of teams potentially doubling in 35. Villa, Palace, Everton, Southampton, Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester and Man United all could have double game weeks in 35. So it's going to be challenging to navigate this if you don't have the free hit, because on top of that there's 4 teams that could blank in 36, which are Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester and Man United. So there's some players there that are heavily owned, like Bruno, of course. Some people getting in the likes of Greenwood, rightly so. Iheanacho, Vardy, Rudiger, Holding, all of these players potentially having a blank in 36, but also a double in 35. So something to keep at the back of your head. Dylan says, hi Focal, thoughts on Rafinha to Greenwood, Wood to Iheanacho, Greenwood captain. I like those moves, yeah, I like the moves. Do you have Salah? I think Salah's the best captain pick, personally, this game week. There are some other standouts. I think Iheanacho, Trent, good options as well. Greenwood captain. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst choice. Greenwood could do very well. As I was saying earlier, Man United put 6 past Leicester when they met early this season, so could be another high-scoring game for Man United. What else do we have here? Yeah, let's have a look at the FPL Focal Minileague. If anyone's not in our mini-league, again, there's also a link to that in the description. And it is the Monkey Man who is still out on top, just barely. 1.4k overall rank. What a season he's having. A couple of other familiar names. Kieran, I think, was also in the chat. Very, very tight at the top. Monkey Man is 9 points clear. Kieran's another one, active on the Discord, as is Monkey Man. Very interesting. As I say, if anyone's not in the Discord, link in the description. So this is the fixture ticker from here to the remainder of the season. This includes 33, and this is sorted by difficulty. So as you can see, Liverpool are top from now to the remainder of the season, which is why I think you want to have a triple up. Yes, Jota, Klopp confirmed earlier that Jota's fine, Sujit. They asked him in his conference because he wasn't spotted at trading yesterday, which Anfield Watch tweeted about. So they asked Klopp and he said, Jota's fine. At the opposite end, here Palace, with the worst run of fixtures from here to the end of the season. They could really struggle over the next 6. But they are one of those teams that we saw just now that has a potential double in 35. So interestingly, if those that have still got their free hit, myself included, I'm considering Zaha on the free hit in 35 because they've got a potential double, which will be Sheffield and Villa. So it's an opportunity to jump on this little sandwiched duo of fixtures there. Sheffield away and Villa at home. Zaha could be a good pick for that, for those that got the free hit. But besides that, I wouldn't recommend Palace assets. Arsenal up there with very good fixtures from here to the end of the season. Difficult to pick out a player who's worth picking up in the Arsenal team though. Lacazette was the man in form, but he's got the injury. Kroenke out, JD says. I'm with you on that, mate. There was a tweet from Ian Wright, which was just hashtag Kroenke out, and I retweeted it. Fully agree. I think there was a protest today organised outside the Emirates. I haven't read up on that, whether that happened or how it went. But they were protesting Kroenke, and they want him out of Arsenal. I'm sure Arsenal aren't alone in wanting rid of their owners after what has transpired over the last week. If anyone's got any team questions, feel free to chuck them in chat. We've got about 15 minutes till the deadline, so I'm happy to answer any team questions you've got. Appreciate everyone tuning in so far. Don't forget to like the video. If anyone's not subscribed, hit subscribe now before you do anything else. I'd love to have you all back for future streams. It's been a great one so far. Still got another 15 minutes till the deadline. It's a small blank game week, this one, of course. Spurs blanking, Man City blanking, Southampton blanking, and Fulham blanking this game week. Hope everyone's able to put an 11 out. Joey says, guys, am I mental for going Jota captain? Not mental. If he starts, I think he could do extremely well. And even if he doesn't, he's done very well off the bench. I mean, look at this. Game week 3, off the bench, scored. Game week 7, off the bench, scored. And then he came back from injury. Game week 30, off the bench, brace. So, no, I don't think it's crazy. I think if you've got Salah, he's the more obvious pick. He's on penalty duties, obviously. How should we do the rate my teams? Yeah, I'll try and do it in the browser. I need to start using the rate my team channel on the Discord. That's what I should be doing, because that's what I created it for. But I can do it from here actually. It's not too bad. So this is Pope Baldy's team. He's got 2 free transfers, nothing in the bank, bench boost left. So bench boost I would say for the 35, assuming we get a double there. 2 free transfers, so you've got Kane and Son blanking. I think that's it. So you start Veltman in place of Son. So with 2 free transfers, what's your overall rank? 27k, you're having a great season. So I've taken a punt on Kane to Vardy, and I don't know what your selling price is for Kane, but for me it wasn't too bad. So I've gone Kane to Vardy, and I may potentially just get Kane straight back in, or if Kane's injury is longer term, then you know that's even better because I've got Vardy for 2 fixtures instead of 1. So you might want to consider something like that. You could just start Veltman and do Kane to Vardy if you fancy the hokey cokey. It's not for everyone, and you know, some people don't like making transfers like that where you go on and off a player. I tend not to, but with 2 free transfers, not the end of the world. That's what I'd probably do. You could also consider Son to Greenwood, but I do like that Leicester fixture, Palace at home. So Mikey Man says, I think I've settled on my transfers. Reguilon to Castagna, interesting. Son to Greenwood and Brewster to Watkins from -4, since Cresswell probably won't play, so I think it will pay out to take a hit. Yeah, I mean, if Cresswell's out and you can't field 11, then yeah, that's not the worst. It's not the worst set of moves there. So I would just have in mind the blank in 36. We don't know yet whether it will be what Ben Crellin speculated. He said there's a 70% chance of what he tweeted happening. So obviously, if what he's tweeted does happen, then Castagna and Greenwood would blank in 36. So as long as you can accommodate a full 11 once we get to 36, so you can protect yourself. Because obviously, we're going into game week 33 here now, everyone. So there's only 6 more game weeks, including this one. So you've only got 6 more free transfers. Not long to go, so you have to really, really be careful with your moves at this point and where you spend them. So let's have a look at Adam's team. Oh, you guys are smashing it this season. So Adam's 97k. Oh, he had Stones. So where was your message? Okay. So you had Stones. Phillips, unfortunately, not going to play. Watkins can come in for Kane. Konsa can come in for Stones. So you've basically still got one blank in. How many free transfers have you got, Adam? Because the problem here is obviously that with Kane and Son, they're both blank, so you're not going to be able to field 11. So I think I would sell Stones if it was me. You could potentially just do Stones to Veltman. But depending on how many free transfers you got, you could use the second as well. Again, you could do the Kane to Vardy move. Vabel says, what would be your ideal free hit team? I think I've got a draft on my desktop, actually, if you guys want to see it. I can quickly chuck up my free hit draft. Do I still have it here? I was messing around with a very early free hit 35 draft, so I can show you that. Yeah, I would get rid of Stones. He's obviously blank in 33, and then he's suspended for 34, so no brainer to get rid of him. Veltman, probably a good option to come in. I think Veltman makes the most sense because once you get to 36, you do have other players that you can play in defence. The likes of Dallas, Konsa and Phillips. That's what I'd probably do. So yeah, if you wanted to see my potential free hit 35 draft, this was how it looked. Very, very early version. And I couldn't actually afford it. I had 0.2 in the bank. So basically what I had here was, I think it was 8 out of my 11 would play twice. Again, this is assuming that Ben Crellin's double gameweek and blank gameweek fixture ticker actually happens. So with this draft, I would have DCL, Iheanacho, Rashford, Zaha, Bruno, Target, Rudiger and Guaita, I think, all play twice. So I'd have 3 players that play once. So that would be the sort of thing I might do in 35. I want to try and capitalise on that double game week. I'm hoping what Ben Crellin's speculated happens because it's a massive opportunity again, which is why if you can, roll on the transfer is actually the best play for this game week, because once we get that news of the 35 double and the 36 blank, you're going to want to try and take advantage of that as quickly as you can and prepare yourself for it, because it's going to be difficult to navigate because, like I say, there's teams that double in 35 and then blank in 36. Ryan says thoughts on Mount to Greenwood. Not convinced on Mount to Greenwood. I mean, Greenwood could do very well this game week, obviously, but it's not the worst fixture for Mount, and he's been ticking along. He's been getting the points. It's not like he's in poor form or anything, so yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I have to always preface this by saying, of course, I don't have a crystal ball, so if Mount blanks and Greenwood scores or gets a brace or something, then I can only apologise. But that's just what I would do if I had Mount in my team. I probably wouldn't do it. Less than 10 minutes till the deadline, everyone. Make sure you got your armbands on the right players, your bench in the right order. Let's do a few more rate my teams. Where did I get to? We were going to look at Wuchi's team. Another decent rank, 140k, 148k overall rank. You see, this is what happens, guys, when you watch FPL Focal. You have a great season. Everyone we've looked at so far has been in the top 150k. So, what was your message? Love to know what you do. 2 free transfers. Of course, I've already done my transfers. Okay, so you've already done them, so you're hoping I say the same thing. Let's see here then. So Rafinha doesn't play. Gundogan and Diaz doesn't play. I guess you play... it's tough to pick between your keepers as well. I think you play Sanchez in goal. So 2 free transfers. I would do... I think I'd sell Gundogan. He's not been getting the same numbers that he did earlier in the season when he looked essential. I think Gundogan would leave my team. How much in the bank? Penguin, how we doing, mate? 1.3 in the bank. I would probably do Gundo to Greenwood. That would be one move. So then you would have 10 playing. So you'd still need to use up a second to put on 11. I'd be tempted to downgrade Diaz as well. Tough one. Really tough one, this team. Because Rafinha is... It's annoying that he's out injured because Rafinha is such a great pick and he may well come into my team for these final three. It's a shame to sell him. You know, these final three are really, really tasty for Leeds. So I think you want to have Bamford or Rafinha for those. Two cheap options. So I think it'd be Gundo to Greenwood. I just don't know what I'd do with the second, to be honest with you. You could do the Kane to Vardy move. That might be it. With a view to get Vardy straight back in. What did you do, Wuchi? I'd love to know what you did there. Fight Baldy says, guys, have you heard about FPL Focal? It's the tried and true method to get into the top 100k. Just barely. I mean, you look at my overall rank and I'm on an absolute knife edge right now. I'm 99k. So I've just barely scraped into the 5-figure club, if that's what we can call it. After a long time out of it. I did want to very briefly just cover this table I put together earlier. So this is all positions, and it's sorted by expected goal involvement over the last 4 game weeks. So top of that is Kane, 4.4 for expected goal involvement. And again, this is who we've been talking about, Greenwood. He's well up there. 2 expected goals over the last 4. He's massively outperformed that, actually. I think he's scored 4, hasn't he? And you look at things like shots in the box, which is where you want your players to be taking shots. And he's actually the second most of all players in the league over the last 4, with 11 shots in the box. So yeah, he's got an expected goal involvement of every 98.5 minutes. So basically at the moment, every game he's expected to be involved in a goal. And he could well be, again, with this Leeds fixture. Very, very juicy fixture. Other players up there is Wood. I don't know if Sponchy's still in the chat. He had Captain Wood a couple of game weeks ago. Was it Sponchy? No, I think it might have been Finn, actually. Dylan says, any Rafinha news? Excuse me. I'm paying the price of drinking Coke during these streams. I need to have soft drinks in the future. These make me burp. Yeah, Bielsa said Rafinha's not back in training yet. So it looks like he won't be playing this game week. Potentially in 34. Anyway. So Ollie says, what game is this evening? Let's have a look at the fixtures. So tonight's game is Arsenal versus Everton, 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. So lineups for that will be out in half an hour or so. Tomorrow we've got Liverpool v Newcastle, which is at 12:30. Again, I don't think we should be reading into the whole is Ramadan affecting players or not. But it's an early game for Salah. You know, unlike last night where Leicester kicked off at 8 o'clock and Fofana came off after an hour because of that. I think I missed a few messages there. Sorry if I've missed any messages this stream. It's not deliberate. I struggle to juggle around all the content I've put together, plus read the messages. Gonzalez says, Son to Greenwood and bench Holding, or don't waste the transfer and play Holding. Got 2 free transfers, got Bruno and can bring Son back. Yeah, I would do it. I would do it because you can bring him straight back. With 2 free transfers, you're in quite good position there. It's a bit of a luxury to have 2 free transfers in any game week, especially right now when there's blanks happening, because you can easily hop off a player that blanks and then hop back on if you want to, which you might want to because Spurs have got Sheffield in 34. So yeah, absolutely, I would do that move. Good move. Einar says, do you reckon it's mad to captain Trent? I don't reckon it's mad, no. If you look at Trent, he's been phenomenal. Basically, ever since he didn't make the Euros squad on the last international break. And you look at the last 4 games in a row. This last column here where my cursor is, this is the bonus points. So the last 4 in a row, he's picked up 3 bonus. So you got 8, 11, 12 and 9. So it's not crazy to captain him at all. And he plays Newcastle at home, who are not the most attacking side on a good day. So it's a really, really good fixture for Liverpool. It's just a shame that Phillips is out, because it means Fabinho has to play centre-back. And he's better utilised in centre mid or defensive mid. But you look at his fixtures from here to the end of the season as well. They're outstanding. So well worth picking him up for the remainder of the season. Any last late questions in chat? Team questions. Happy to answer them before the deadline in, what we got, a minute? Just don't make any knee-jerk decisions with a minute to the deadline that you regret. So yeah, this is my team. I've got Salah captain, Vardy vice. Vardy came into my team this game week. I sold Kane. I was in the same position as Gonzalo. I had 2 free transfers, so I've hopped off Kane. And then if Kane is back for Sheffield, I'll potentially just hop back on him. Because obviously in a blank game week, you're getting absolutely nothing from that player. So you look at the likes of Kane and Son, and you're spending, well, like over 20 mil on players that won't even get you any points that game week. Dylan says, Vardy or Greenwood captain? Oh, tough on that. Gun to my head. Vardy. Pope Baldy's done it. Son to Greenwood. Very late move. Good move. Cheers for swinging by, Adam. Appreciate that. Thanks everyone that has tuned in to this deadline stream. I'll stick around for like another 5 or so minutes, and then I think we'll call it a day. Adam 1, Adam 2, Dylan, Einar, Monkey Man, Ollie, Pope Baldy, Sponshy, Vabble, Wuchi. Anyone else I've missed, appreciate you all being here. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video. If anyone's not subbed to the channel, click subscribe right now. Wuchi says, deadline. The Nightbot removed it. How do I unremove that? You just got told off by the Nightbot, mate. Pope Baldy says, deadline. That's it? Is that the deadline? It is. That's the deadline. We made it. So it's, yeah, as I say, it's a very small blank game week, this one. No Spurs, City, Fulham or Southampton playing this game week. Hope everyone's able to field 11. Hope everyone has a green arrow. Pope Baldy says, come on, Nightbot, give him a chance. Anyone up to anything exciting this weekend? I might have a date tomorrow. Hopefully. Matched her on, not Tinder. What's the other one called? Hinge. Been talking for a few weeks. So, yeah. I don't know what game's on tomorrow night, but I'm not going to be able to miss. Not going to be able to watch that. Tomorrow night, it's oh, that's all right. Sheffield v Brighton, no problem. Next weekend, I'm away with the family for a holiday. I leave on Friday night, so I'm hoping that the next deadline for 34 is going to be a Friday deadline again, like tonight. In which case, I'll be able to do a deadline stream. If it's not, then I won't be around for a deadline stream. We'll have broken the streak, unfortunately. So fingers crossed we get another Friday deadline. Don't know if they've confirmed it or not. Oh, they have. Perfect. Okay. Ignore I said that. I didn't realise they'd announced the fixtures. So next Friday it's at 8 o'clock deadline. So yeah, I should be absolutely fine to do a deadline stream next Friday. But I'll be away for the weekend, so I won't be active or as active in the Discord. If anyone's not played it yet, we've got a little game in our Discord here called Soccer Guru. Really, really easy game to play. You just do .claim, and then it gives you a player. and you basically just put together a team and then you play against other people in our server. We've got a tournament running in right now, and you play against people in the arena, which you get money for, and you basically just put together a team. So it's like a completely free, good version of Ultimate Team in my opinion. Pope Baldy playing Frisbee and badminton tomorrow. Very nice. Didn't know you played badminton. Bintan says Dallas captain destroyed City and now to destroy United too. Oh, so bold. What bold captaincy. I hope it pays off. Hopefully when we get to the Game Week 34 preview / deadline stream, you'll be here absolutely smug off the back of a Dallas goal. You'd rather go on a date than watch Villa v West Brom. Sponchy's locked in Nevada captain. Good luck, Sponchy. Anyway, I think that is a perfect time to end the stream. Good luck everyone this game week. Final reminder to hit subscribe and like the video if you're not subscribed to the channel, and if you've not liked the video. I will be on the Discord throughout this game week. The party carries on over there, so I'll see you there if you're on the Discord. If not, enjoy the game week and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for tuning in, guys. See ya.